Welcome to the Collaborative Resource Hub by Wellness Provisions. I'm Amy McBride, owner of Wellness Provisions, the most badass wellness business. You're tuning in to the Delay Dying Blog podcast edition because who wants to read when you can have someone read to you? Unless you like using your eyeballs, then catch every single essay over on the website. Just select ones, make it to the podcast. And if you're the pill popping type, no supplements, then Welly P has you covered. We supply rock and rollers with high quality supplements. We're a trustworthy place to go where you can essentially shop blindfolded. Last but not least, my legal disclaimer, nothing in this essay or the Collaborative Resource Hub substitutes medical advice. Please connect with your GP if you need medical guidance. These are my essays, my take on all things wellness, written to educate and inspire. Enjoy today's essay. Healing yourself after a relationship. Relationships are all different. Therefore, we of course heal from them differently. Some breakups are easier to move through, while some are way, way more challenging. This essay isn't so much about getting over the person, but more about reconnecting with yourself and healing yourself from any possible damage done. Maybe it will resonate with you, maybe it won't. But you know what? I'm going to write it anyway, because, well, that goes for all essays I write. Some will hit home, some you won't even listen to. Although honestly, they're all great, and you should be listening to all of them. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. I was involved with the guy who made me feel pretty crappy about myself. A lot. And I didn't necessarily realize it was happening until I had stepped away from it and put enough distance and time between us that I could see things clearly. One example of this was how he made me incredibly self-conscious about the way I told stories, or frankly, communicated in general. Like, what in the serious fuck? But I know it happened gradually, and I didn't notice how I had morphed as a result of his overall presence. Every time I told a story, he made fun of me and said I was terrible at telling stories and that they had no interesting endings. I got so self-conscious about this without realizing, hey, you don't have to listen to this dickhead, that I just started to self-deprecate. So when I told a story, I would wrap it up by saying it was terrible or not interesting. I'd beat the person to the punchline. But then one day, I was hanging out with someone who I liked a tremendous amount, held a lot of respect for, and after this happening several times, he cut me off and he asked me, did someone make you feel this way? Like, who made you feel this way? And that was the first time someone put a spotlight on what was happening. And at that moment, I realized I had the power to rewrite that narrative about myself. I don't have to be a terrible storyteller. I don't have to identify with that because some asshole drilled that into my head for so long. I now had a clean slate and could stop saying that about myself, clean up my self-talk, catch myself when I'm talking to someone and no longer take the stab at myself. So here's where I talk to you and challenge you, my lovely friend of Welly P. The goal here is to look at the past and heal from it. Heal from it so you can free yourself from negative stories that aren't the real you, feelings that hold you back and limit you, as opposed to feelings that light you up and give you confidence. The only way to move forward is to heal, to tend that wound so it no longer bleeds, which means you got to get in there and be there in some pain in order to get out of it. So think about the relationship, the person, and what they left you with. What hurtful, negative, or unhelpful stories do you identify with about yourself because of them? Make a list. You could even go back in time even more and make a list from all relationships which left an unhealthy mark on you. What super awesome stories did you start writing about yourself from your time with them? You'll probably end up with a brunch buffet selection of dysfunction to pick from. Did they do things that made you feel less than, unloved, or unintelligent? So dial in on the feeling you are now left with. Backtrack to the thing they did, in my example, telling me I'm a shitty storyteller and not interesting. Now you've got something to unpack and process. you've got an opportunity to reset that feeling within you, to change the story, to be the real version of yourself, not the character they wrote for you. I'm going to say that again. You have the opportunity to turn the page. Clean white pages staring back at you. Change the story. Who is the real you? Who existed before they smudged dirty pencil markings all over you? Be the real version of yourself, not the character they wrote you to be. Now, what positive things did they bring into your life? Oh, that's right. No one is pure evil. No relationship entirely bad. So let's look at the good next. In what ways did they make you better, challenge you to grow and evolve, or make your life brighter for a time? Do you feel any emptiness within yourself without those positive additions? Do you miss the good they brought into your life? I'm sure you do. We all miss the good, right? In fact, we cling so hard to the good, we often overlook the shit, more often than not, that they were smearing on us the whole time because the good was so good. We looked the other way, right? But they're gone now. The relationship is no more. So what are you left with? An emptiness? No way. No fucking way. You have the power to reshape this too. So, can you feel those positive feelings from other people? Because if they had the ability to make you feel that awesome way, that just means you have the space to be affected that way. You have the capacity for that emotion. And with how many people roaming this planet, walking the streets in your town, swiping whatever which way on a blue lit screen, you'll find someone else who will co-create that feeling within you. Maybe they had some trait that you loved so much and thought, no one else will embody that. Guess what? Someone else will. This person is showing you it's all possible. If they could make you feel that way, and I'm sure at the time you didn't know that feeling was even possible, it just means someone else can too. Let yourself be surprised. And in the meantime, take ownership over your feelings and love yourself more. Can you take the love you have for them and turn it inwards on yourself and create a stronger connection with yourself? Do kind things for yourself. Expand your mind with worthwhile books or podcasts, like this one. Hold yourself accountable with adulting tasks that will give you a sense of accomplishment upon completing them. And be grateful for the time you did get to have them in your life. Be so thankful for what they taught you, brought into your life that was positive, and shaped your forward growth and evolution from the not so awesome stuff. What's done is done. So what matters now is how you move forward, how you let yourself grow, how you allow yourself to let go. Even if you're still upset about the relationship ending and you wish you were together, the reality is it's over. If you're meant to be together, trust that the universe will bring you back to each other when the time is right. Maybe you both need more lessons to learn, more development as an individual, more experiences, or maybe you won't end up together again. And that's okay too. In the big picture, when we zoom out and distance served us well, it is okay. Remember, everything has an expiration date. Nothing and no one lasts forever in life. Be happy they were honest about their feelings with you, that they set you free and themselves free from something that wasn't working for them anymore. They didn't keep you trapped in lies, wasting your time, hurting you more. So now get yourself out of that trap. Appreciate all the good they gave you. Break down, process, and reassemble yourself with different pieces from the damaging stories or hurt they left you with. Keep the good parts. Give yourself the feeling of the good they brought to you. Release the parts that no longer benefit you anymore. Become a version 2.0. Talk to friends, journal, take notes, and work things through with a therapist or a wellness coach. I know a pretty good one. So, if you could use support from a wellness coach, it is what I do. If my experiences and my thoughts resonate with you or my terrible sense of humor, then we have the potential to create impactful, and worthwhile change together. So hit me up. Let's see about working together. And trust me, things will get better. Over and out. Amy from Wellness Provisions.
My life was a mess until I met Wellness Provisions.